What's going on, everyone? Talon here,
And Gringo.
and welcome to another random character select. So we're gonna get right into it and give the wheel a spin and see where we land. It's still going. All right, three. All right, let's see. All these characters look pretty decent, so let's see who we get.
I was gonna say this looks like a pretty good wheel. I saw like Sharon Rogers, Carnage.
Yep,
Who else was on there?
it's Medusa.
Elsa.
And,
All right,
Elsa.
there we go.
All
I
right.
can work with that.
My Elsa is pretty good, so
All right, let's
let's
get
check
to
it
that.
out. All right, and we're back. So let's hop into our rosters here. All right, so Elsa's nice and easy to find because she is a tier 2. So there we go. All right, so here is my Elsa. So as you can see, tier 2, so everything's nice and maxed out. We have nothing out of the ordinary for her gear, just all attack or physical, all defense, HP, and then I have a little bit of crit rate with my skill cooldown on there.
I just have skill cooldown for now because I haven't worked on her a lot. I think I built her up a while back, so I just threw like all the stats on her when I was just changing the stats of all my characters at the same time. I had a bunch of extra gold. And then when the new costume came out, I actually started working on her. I put an obelisk on her, ranked up her skills and stuff.
All right, yeah, the new costume is definitely very nice. I do like this uniform. Let's see, what is my obelisk on her? It is... Oh yeah, I've got the immune to guard break, and then we've got ignore dodge, and then we've got one of those pseudo damage procs, the one where it makes the thing fall on top of their head and do 270% energy damage.
Well, I also have the ignore dodge without the ignore.
Oh, okay, you have dodge.
And the second stat is recovery rate, kind of meh. And I have one of the invincibility procs for 2 seconds when she's below 50% HP.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I did add this one like a while back, right before I got the costume, because
yeah.
I don't think I would have added this after I got the costume, knowing what the 5th skill does.
Yep, she's going to be immune to damage the whole time from that 5th skill because you can kind of just chain it together, especially now with the iframe now on the 4th skill. I mean, it's been a while now since that was changed, but before her 4th skill was not a iframe. When she jumped up in the air to start shooting the enemy, you could still get hit during that while she was in the air. Now it is actually a full iframe, so that helps to completely cover the downtime with the 6-star or the 5th skill being refreshed. So let's see. The only skill that I have, actually I maxed out a few of her skills because I do use her now in Extreme Alliance battles, so I was trying to get her a little more DPS. So I maxed out, of course, her 5th skill. I've maxed out her 4th skill. Yeah, exactly. And I've maxed out her 3rd skill, which are the main 3 skills that I use in rotation for Extreme Alliance battle.
Yeah, I just maxed out all of her skills because usually when I get somebody to tier 2, I just max out all their skills.
It's also a good thing to do.
Pretty much whoever I have at tier 2 that you'll see should all be skill level 6s, except for maybe one character if I just tier 2 them and I'm in the middle of leveling up their skills.
Okay.
Just so I never have to go back to it and worry about it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I only usually rank up skills that are
Useful.
something that, well, something that gives you, like, it increases your dodge or increases the guard as you level it up type thing, because I don't really notice too much the actual damage increase from 1 to 6 for the skill itself, so I haven't really bothered wasting the gold much. But I guess if you really want to get the most out of the character, of course you do want to max out the skill, but like I said, it's not too noticeable. At least for me, I can't notice it. I mean, maybe it is a big difference, I just haven't seen it.
It's not like a terrible difference usually with like the first couple skills, because usually the first couple skills are just like 1 or 2 hits anyway, and it's not a big damage boost. But when they add like new costumes, if they change all the skills, it could make a big difference.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean there. For when I bought the costume for Amadeus Cho, I had never maxed out his 5th skill, which once he got the costume gave him that decreased damage taken and increased all of his stats. And I've been using him in Shadowland, and I'm like, well, he's okay, but I thought he'd be a lot better.
Yeah,
And then I realized, yeah, that skill was still level 1, and I was like, oh, well, there we go. I ranked it up to 6, and all of a sudden he's like 5 times as strong as he was before.
Yeah, and even with that, even leveling up, Amadeus chose like first 2 skills. Like, even though they're like 1 or 2 hits, like they'll hit for like 40,000 damage in Shadowland. I've noticed. So he does really massive damage when you max out his skills.
Yeah, I like using Cho for Shadowland levels. He keeps them stunned really well.
That is one thing we could also use is let's see some more like of the off costumes like Monsters Unleashed or Marvel Zombies and stuff.
Yeah, some more of those kind of costumes added to the game.
Yeah, because there's only like 1 or 2 of each of them. It's like
that's true.
Then they'll add like a 1 Marvel Zombies costume and then like 5 other regular costumes. It's like let's just see a full set of Marvel Zombies costumes or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they did finish off some of the sets. So, all right, what's next? The Isolate set. So for my Elsa, I have Hawkeye on her. Of course, oh, very nice. A damage-based Isolate set, no surprise there. Since she has that damage immunity from 5th skill, you don't really need to focus much on survivability, so go for all damage there. And I kept the Hawkeye set just because I like having that skill cooldown. But if I didn't need the skill cooldown, of course, I would have rerolled probably for Overdrive or Power the Angry Hulk to get that Ignore Defense. Which, let's go ahead and check where's my Elsa at for Ignore Defense. And yes, as you can see, she does need a little bit more Ignore Defense. So if I did reroll to one of those sets, where they give you like 5% or 6% when they're not maxed out. So that would get me close to max because I'm only at 37% Ignore Defense right now. But, yeah.
And of course, I'm guessing you do have the Monsters Unleashed costume
yes.
equipped right now.
Yes, I do.
So I'll take a look at that real quick. And the reason we have this one over the last one is mainly, if you look at this last one right here, you see that nice little change skill list of all of 1 skill.
Nope.
And then you go over to the Monsters Unleashed, and it changes it to a nice big 5 right there.
Yep.
So it changes up all her skills. It gives her iframe and pretty good damage on her 5th skill. A little iframe on the 4th one, and like he was saying, you could probably rotate between those, and then maybe like if your skill cooldown isn't fantastic, then maybe the 3rd one, I believe it's the Nowhere to Hide, where she just kind of moves around back and forth, so she might be able to dodge a couple hits right there, and then you just go back into the rotation.
Yeah, she's pretty easy to have a rotation on that will keep you immune to damage like the whole time, because you pretty much the preferred rotation for me at least is I use the 5th skill, so it starts damage immunity. Then I use her 1st skill, it does a little bit of movement, and then as soon as she finishes or even just starts shooting the laser that ends the 1st skill, I cancel it into the 3rd skill, that Nowhere to Hide, where she does all the movement and kind of does a little spin around that gets those lasers to hit all the enemies around her. And then I jump immediately into her 4th skill. And usually when I jump into the 4th skill, there's about 2 seconds left on my 5th skill cooldown. So as soon as she hits the ground, I just proc my damage immunity again.
Yeah, I think I have a little different skill rotation than you, because I think my skill cooldown's a little bit above yours.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to hit that many skills. Usually I'll do 5th skill into the 3rd skill, into the 4th skill, and then by the time I usually drop down to the ground from the 4th skill, before it shoots that big blast, the 5th skill's cool down, and I'll cancel out the 4th and go back into the 5th.
Yeah, I do the same cancel, but I have that 1st skill in between in my rotation between your 2 skills that you have going on there.
Yeah, because I hate that 4th one when she hits the ground and she's just sitting there.
Yeah, she's rooted.
Yeah, she's building up that little charge shot.
So
it's nice that it has tracking, but
yeah, it does, and it can hit multiple enemies too. So I mean, it's still pretty nice.
Multiple enemies can also hit you.
Yeah, exactly. And I've noticed though it does do really good damage because I use Elsa on autoplay for the whatever the new special missions were called. I already forgot. Where I'm fighting against Crystal. I guess they're just inhuman special missions. I put her on the highest difficulty for Crystal runs because I'm trying to get Crystal bios to rank her up to tier 2. And I just let Elsa autoplay that, and the shots from that fourth skill, I mean, even though she's rooted, do quite a bit of damage. I see a good chunk of Crystal's
Yeah.
life bar disappear from that.
Yeah, I think as long as you're like kind of one-on-one with enemies, because when you go up into the air, usually they'll like start circling around like a chicken with their head cut off,
Yep.
or like running away or something. So when you hit the ground, they're just kind of trying to get back to you.
Yeah.
So you have enough time to get that charge shot off and then go into the next skill. But if there's
Mhm.
multiple enemies, then
Yeah, it could be more difficult.
yeah,
Alright, so I think that's all of the stats for Elsa. I've gone over uniform, iso weight, skills, looked at her gear. So yeah, I think it's time to do some gameplay with her. So let's get into the world boss here.
Thanos Day.
Yep, it is Thanos. So the team that I like to use with Elsa, or the team that I use, I guess I should say, for Extreme Alliance Battle is Elsa with Wong and Daredevil, because she gets 2 physical damage boosts there. She gets physical attack with a crit damage and an all attack. I guess it's not physical attack, it's all attack, and a all speed bonus. So that just helps boost her damage, and they're all speed characters, of course, which is why I can use them in the Extreme Alliance Battle. But she does have other team ups that will give her more bonuses, like the one with Kid Kaiju and Cho. That gives her, I believe, a full set of team ups, if I remember correctly. Let's see.
Yeah, I think the set that I like using more often is the one that I have right now. I have Elsa, Warwolf, and Blade.
Okay.
So you get the Monster and Hunter one, which is all attack crit damage. Blade meets Stone, which is max HP and dodge. And then Vampire and Werewolf, which is ignore defense and recovery rate. So pretty much all of those are used except for maybe the recovery rate.
Yep.
So, and those are pretty much like the stats you want, like with the attack, crit damage,
Yep.
ignore defense, HP.
Yeah, no, those are good bonuses as well.
But then again, since I know Elsa can pretty much solo everything, I'll normally, because I have my Kid Kaiju and Cho, like, pretty high up there now.
Yeah.
So I don't usually waste 3 good characters on one run.
Well, I usually use Amadeus Cho as a striker because he's a when attacking striker, so I like using him. But for this run, I'm not going to use any strikers, so because she is tier 2, so you don't necessarily need them. So let's just hop in here.
I guess I'll do the same then, because I don't want to look like a chump.
Alright, Thanos, you ready? Elsa is going to blast you in the face with some lasers. Oh, I think I might have accidentally got debuffed at the beginning there because my immune to guard break did not kick in. But let's see.
Yeah, we'll see what the difference between being ranked 1400 and 15,700 is.
Yeah. Oh, and also what's good about this team up, if it'll do it, yeah, she uses her 5th skill with the team up.
Oh.
Or the co-op skill, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the co-op team up skill.
Yeah, I have no idea what mine is yet. Guess we'll find out. Oh man.
Why is there, sounds like there's no volume coming out of my phone. Do I have no volume here? Oh, apparently when you put on Do Not Disturb, it mutes the game.
I would laugh if it muted your voice on it the whole time too. That'd be pretty good.
That would be pretty annoying. Alright, hold on.
He keeps going like One Punch Man on me every time I like start to use my 6th skill. And just cancels out the whole thing.
Can we turn on some volume here, please? Media. No, we can't, eh? Alright. Do Not Disturb. Turn off, please.
Okay, so yeah, I could probably use some immune to guard break on her.
Yeah, that's definitely very nice. Alright, do we have volume now? There we go. Didn't have volume this whole time. Alright. Now we can hear what else
Well,
is
he's
doing.
got lasers, I've got lasers, we're using them on each other at the same time. Only difference is mine did damage.
Yeah, exactly right. Alright, he's trying to drop some meteors on my head, but Elsa doesn't care because she's immune to damage. Alright, there we go. So, got Thanos down. What did it take? 2 minutes and... Or wait, not 2 minutes. What I'll talk about. 1 minute and 44 seconds to beat Thanos. As you can see, Elsa is pretty beastly just because her 5th skill does so much damage. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't know my volume wasn't on there. Kind of was wondering why I was only hearing your game volume and not mine. But
Because mine's better.
right.
Just saying.
Hopefully it didn't mute my voice, because if you're just starting to hear me talking right now, then that means that my phone was muted the whole time.
Which would be hilarious. Yeah, I just Warwolf buffed her real quick, just because I'm trying to catch up. Again,
Yeah.
like I said, the difference between like 1400 and 15,700.
Yeah, well, my Elsa, like I said, I've worked on her, and her uniform is at Legendary too, so she has a little bit of extra
Okay,
bonuses there. Because she's at Legendary, and I believe, yeah, I have all of the bonuses unlocked except for one right now. Because I have not bothered to buy that old Angela uniform, the Witch Hunter one. Because I have her better uniform, the All New, All Different. I believe it was All New, All Different. Is that the name of it?
I don't know.
Yes, All New, All Different. That's what I thought. If they want to give us this Angela uniform for free, like they did for the Ultron uniforms, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be. It's too bad they didn't call the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 ones all new, all different.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't have really been nothing
There's nothing
new or different about them.
Yeah.
It barely even changes the skills.
Yep.
Mildly disappointed in those.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I got him.
Alright.
Like I thought, it wasn't really troublesome. It was just, it took a little longer because I didn't have the immune to guard break. So he probably canceled out my 5th skill about 7 or 8 times.
Immune to guard break is pretty nice. The reason I have that on there is because, yeah, my 5th skill got canceled out a lot when I was fighting World Boss even before I started building up my Elsa, because I think this is actually the first obelisk that I put on her, or at least the obelisk I put on her when I first tier 2'd her. So I definitely like the immune to guard break, that's for sure. The ignore dodge was just a coincidence and a nice bonus because the Frost Beast on the Extreme Alliance Battle Day for speed is actually increased dodge rate, so this ignore dodge actually even helps with that. So that was just coincidence, like I said, or else it probably would have taken me forever to actually roll for that if I was going for it.
Yeah, I'll probably end up changing hers eventually. But I don't think I have anything I really would enjoy equipping right now
Yeah.
to her. Because most of the ones that I've built up to 6 stars, I've tried to get recovery rate on.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there's quite a few characters that use recovery rate, so
Yeah,
I've
and
ranked
then,
a lot of those up too.
of course, my favorite is that double recovery rate that's
Yeah.
sitting there. 72.4, 47.8.
Yeah, that's huge. That's what my old obelisk on Moon Knight was before I switched it to actually start trying to compete a little more competitively in Extreme Alliance Battle with him. I needed the immune to snare, so I had to switch my obelisk, and the best one I was able to roll was a 50% recovery with the immune to snare, but also, of course, it had a damage proc, but sadly the lowest that you could possibly get for the damage proc, only 100%. But I wasn't rolling anything good. I tried actually rolling recovery rate obelisk to get those other 2 stats, a damage proc and immune to snare, and this was like the only one that I was able to get.
Yeah, I think that could be something they could actually do with the game. Is like when you're upgrading an obelisk, say I have like the 5-star one here, if I used a bunch of like 2 stars down here that had, let's say, well, let's find a good one real quick.
I've already fused all my stuff
Like
away.
recovery rate down here.
Yep.
And I fused like a bunch of those 2 stars into the 5 star that had recovery rate as like their main ability.
Yep.
Then when it goes up to 6 stars, I would have a better chance of getting recovery rate
Yeah, that
for
would
like
be
a second ability or something.
That would be a pretty cool mechanic, because then you can, like, if I have the recovery rate here and say I did want to get one with immune to snare, I just save all my immune to snare, like 2-star ones that I have, and then fuse them into here and
Yeah.
have a good chance at getting it. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has to be like guaranteed, but it gives you
Yeah.
more of a chance of getting that one than the others.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a good thought to be added to the game. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for Elsa. You've pretty much covered all her stats. We did a little bit of gameplay with her. So, Elsa, definitely a very, very strong character. I would say she's probably, excluding, of course, the natural Tier 2 characters, one of the top 5 in the game. Definitely, I would put her on the first characters that you want a Tier 2 list kind of deal there, because she can clear everything for you, and she just becomes extremely overpowered once she's Tier 2'd.
Yeah. And then the only thing to note with her is her biometrics. You can... Which store is it? Is the Chaos or the...
It is the Chaos, so it is a little easier to get hers.
Yeah, so if you do the villain sieges every day and get those Chaos stones or tokens, then you can buy a bunch of her biometrics, which should make it a little easier. And of course, I think you can also use Shadowland biometrics and stuff on her.
Yes, you can.
So if you can get through a few floors of Shadowland, you can get more biometrics from her. So it shouldn't be as hard to tier 2 her as it is some of the other characters.
Yeah. And that's actually why her uniform's at Legendary. I was just using some of my overflowing tokens, because once you get to, is it 65,000, it caps or something like that?
I
think it's 65,000.
I wouldn't know,
But
because
I don't
I've
know.
been using a bunch of mine on like the speed Nornstones.
Yeah, I've used them on that before too.
I kind of wish the blue or red ones were teamed with it, because I believe the purple
Yeah.
ones are teamed with it.
Yep, it is the purple ones.
And I have like, I think
Yeah.
about 3,000 of those that I have nothing to do with.
Yeah, I've been fusing them away or converting them in the store.
Yeah, that's what I've been
purple
doing
ones.
too.
Yeah.
But it's just such a slow pace to get the other ones and stuff.
Yep. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be it for Elsa. Like we said, definitely a super strong character, so well worth the investment if you haven't already built her up yet. And that's going to be it for this video here, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one.
See you guys later.